I've spent a few days over the past few weeks playing Doodle World, and while I can definitely say the game isn't perfect, it's a lot of fun, and I definitely suggest you give it a shot if you're looking for a fresh new take on the creature-catching Fakemon experience. Now, for this video, I'm going to pretend that you don't know anything about the game, regardless of whether or not that's true. There might be some minor spoilers, but since the current story isn't finished, I'm probably just going to be scratching the surface. Doodle World is a game obviously taking inspiration from Pokemon, with its doodle catching mechanics, and various other similarities. I'm going to explain some of the history for those of you who don't know. Just be aware, I'm a bit rusty on my knowledge since it's been a few years since I dipped my toe in this community. I'm not as well versed as I was with Lumion Legacy. Originally, the creator of Doodle World, Wish C, had made Project Pokemon. It took place in the Kanto region of the Pokemon world, following many of the events of the Generation 1 games, such as the rival Gary, the Rock-type gym with Brock, then Misty's gym, and so on. You know the rest. Eventually, with the great purge of Pokemon games on the platform, all the developers were forced to either stop developing entirely or change up the formula in some way. Enter the Renaissance. Lots of the developers of the original Pokemon games decided to make their own creature-catching games, kind of as a screw you to Nintendo, which I fully support and admire them for doing. And Wish Z went on to start up Doodle World. Now, Doodle World is still in early development, and it has a ways to go, that much is clear. But it's not without its flaws. Before I get to the positives, aka the parts that I personally liked about the game, I'm going to talk about some of the negatives. Bear in mind though, like I said, the game is still in development, not completely finished. So they have a lot of chances to fix many of these issues before moving on to later parts of the game. Also, it should come as a given that these are all my opinion, and you might think one of these problems doesn't matter all that much, but I'm just listing a broad spectrum of things that I found annoying. First, and most importantly of all, level caps. Dear God, get rid of it, please. I talked about this in my short video recently, but this is a really stupid mechanic that's put in the game. Look, I understand. You don't want people steamrolling your game with level 100 doodles. You want to give players a bit of a challenge, completely reasonable. But explain to me why on earth is my level cap always under the level of the boss trainer in the area? It's like, you want to give me a challenge, but all you're doing is rigging the damn fight. Ideally, I'd have 0 level caps at all, but I don't mind a level cap most of the time. Like in Lumion Legacy, the current level cap is 50, which is totally fine because the trainers in the current last battle theater are much lower than that. It was just annoying because it was my very first playthrough and I didn't know what I was doing, and I kept having to throw myself at these trainers over and over again, trial and error style. And I was especially confused since a lot of the dialogue seems targeted towards kids when I know damn well I had trouble with some of these fights, and I couldn't imagine 9-year-old me possibly getting by these fights as easily as current me. At least give me a choice between casual and hard, because I know most of your player base is apparently already used to the difficulty, but it's going to be hard to pull a new audience when someone needs to learn all these new creatures, all their types, what the types are, the moves, the items, the battle system, the status effects, It's a lot. Most, if not all, of the story felt a little underwhelming. I couldn't really get attached to any of the characters or feel any remorse for any of my actions, like breaking the door with the axe in Graphite Forest. Nah, I don't care. I'm assuming the karma system will be more impactful in later versions of the game, but as of right now, I don't feel any weight to my actions. The characters really have almost no personality. TJ and Quincy are the most developed characters, and even then, we know next to nothing about them, and I still don't trust TJ. I think maybe a way to fix this would be to have some sort of story quest where you need to team up with some of the characters, like someone stole a doodle or something, and you and TJ have to go get that doodle back for the person. And throughout the whole way, TJ's like, "Man, what a despicable person stealing someone's doodles, truly the lowest scum in history." And less of the, let the player battle this person while I consciously sit here and do nothing. The latter might be a little bit more funny sometimes, but it's a ton more annoying, especially if overdone. Take a look at some of the examples of good characters in popular media franchises. For example, Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Man, why ain't you never met him?
He might be an outlaw and a murderer, but he does what he does for his gang, which are basically his family, which most people find honorable. There's more to it than that, but I'm just saying build up your characters a bit more. You've got time. Third of all are some honorable mentions. Most of the areas are massive. Either make them much smaller or give me an instant fast travel system like Fly or the GeoHop mechanic in Lumion Legacy. Doesn't have to be the same, I just want it to be faster than walking or biking from A to B. The train stations are not going to cut it either. A few of the music tracks are played at different volumes, which is like, why? I don't even see how that could happen. But it should be an easy fix. Just mess with the audio levels and it'll be fine. Some of the doodles look a little weird, like if I tilt my camera up and the doodle just squishes into a pancake, it feels a bit lazy. And when you're healing them in the doodle stations when they spin around, I think it would just look better if they stayed facing the camera. That last one's a bit of a nitpick, but you know, small issues come together to ruin your experience. Alright, sorry about all the negativity. I just had a lot of problems with my first playthrough and got quite frustrated with the mechanics of the game more than a few times. But let's switch gears now and talk about the good. First, and again, definitely most importantly, good God. I don't know who designs the doodles in this game, but they need a raise. The design some of the doodles in this game have puts a lot of Pokemon designs to shame. And I pray to hopefully see these in some kind of 3D environment someday. I mean, just look at this! This is my favorite doodle, by the way. And look at this one! God, it looks good. Yeah, it's safe to say I don't need to give you guys any advice on design work. Not that I'm even qualified in the first place. Second of all, I think the environments in this game also look stunning. They're huge, as I mentioned before, but they look great. And I enjoyed exploring the map in my free time off-stream. There's a lot of secrets that I never would have found if I never thought to look around more thoroughly. Third of all, despite what I said about the mixing of the volume, a lot of the tracks in this game are great, except you. And they definitely fit with the setting the game is trying to offer. With everything said and done, I think I'd give this game a rating of around 6 out of 10. Again, I really want to drive home that it's not finished yet, so I expect to see a lot of these problems that I experienced to be resolved in future updates to boost the game from a 6 to like a 9 or something. The game has some serious potential, and would I recommend it? It depends. If you love Pokemon but you're looking for something new, of course I'd recommend it. And for all of you that are hopelessly lost on what to do in Lumion Legacy like I am, this game is a must-play. Anyways, this might be a bit of a short video. I wasn't exactly sure what kind of content to make from this game since I didn't think a Let's Play series would fit my more recent style of videos. But if you're interested, I left the entire thing up on Twitch. Just expect me to be extremely critical and whiny about the game. I definitely complained a lot. If you're also feeling lost, let's take a break. I can tell you a story. Alright. So, we are going to implement a mechanic to talk to a character. We're gonna ask them, are you lost? Okay, what is our response to the player saying, yes, I am lost? Okay, our response? Okay, let's not tell the player what to do, or where to go, or what's going on with all these buttons. Let's instead tell them a random story that has nothing to do with anything other than just story, lore. Let me know your thoughts on my review. This is a bit new to me, so I'm open to criticism. I could definitely get better at dissecting a game if given the chance to properly reflect. Alright, that's it for now. Take care, and I guess I'll see you next time.